Oh, okay. Wow. Let me change this light a little bit. Yeah, so welcome to the very first Soul Nightcap. Yeah. Welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you. So yeah, welcome to the very first Soul Nightcap. It's crazy to be here. It's crazy that I am doing this right now. I feel like me doing this right now is truly the epitome of faith of a mustard seed, right? So you gotta believe in yourself, but you also gotta have faith, right? Let me put some questions in here. So like tonight we'll be talking about a few different things. Yeah, we'll be talking about a few things. Oh, this one of my favorite. You know what? We're gonna start with a poem, y'all. We're gonna start with a poem. This is the very first Soul Nightcap, man. This is the very first Soul Nightcap. So we're gonna start with the poem. We're gonna start with a poem. We're gonna start with a poem. Here I am, living my dreams in real time. When you really take the time to understand and unwind, to really write down what's been on your mind, you'll learn that you already had everything you needed. There was nothing outside that pleaded from something within. See, the soul that I've always had from within has been deeper than this brown skin. See, my brown skin is rooted in love and some pain. I have tattoos on my skin and blood in my veins that say that I am human, but I feel otherworldly sometimes. I feel that no one understands what's on my mind. Welcome to the very first Soul Nightcap, where we like to drink wine and we like to take our time. We step on some grapes and find our own escape, find our own way in this oasis of life, in this crazy thing. We're just trying to live right. She says she loves me, but I just want a wife. See, I want real. All right, y'all. Very first Soul Nightcap, y'all. Very first Soul Nightcap. So yeah, welcome. Welcome to the very first Soul Nightcap. You know who it is. It's L. Veins. A few things I wanted to talk about. But first, I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank you guys for being here, but I also want to thank myself, right? You know what I'm saying? Because this is a little nerve-wracking, you know what I'm saying? I don't know you people. You don't know me. But you're going to get to know me. You know what I'm saying? So, who am I? I am a man who decided to not let the world change the way he loves. So, I'm sure many of us have been heartbroken before, right? Been heartbroken. Hell, that's why I started doing poetry. You know, I started doing poetry because that was my only way to communicate. You know, part of this episode I might be rambling, but we're gonna get it together. I told y'all I've been drinking a little wine. But anyway, yeah. So tonight, I'm gonna tell you guys about who I am, right? So I am a poet. L. Veins. I was born in Georgia. I started my journey February 29th. February 29th. So technically, my anniversary won't be till 2028, I think. Yeah, something like that. But I feel like it was divine timing. About a year ago, you know, I had found myself just wanting to change in my life. And that change was poetry. You know, I found myself praying, hell, I was crying on my bathroom floor one morning. And, you know, I just felt like I wanted more out of my life. And I felt, you know, and I got the epiphany, you know, to be the greatest poet to ever live, right? Is that what's still away? Oh, it's still, okay. Yeah. So, one thing led to another. You know, I started getting on stage. I started working on my craft. I started, you know, really just getting out of my shell. You know, the thing is, you know, people say, what happened first, the chicken or the egg, right? But if you stay in the egg, you ain't never gonna get no chicken. You know? Anyway, y'all don't listen to me. I just be talking, right? So what is Soul Nightcap? Soul Nightcap is going to be my heart in podcast form. So on this podcast, you know, like I said, there'll be wine. You know, there'll be soft music. You know, I might get a couple calls. You know, might have some roses. Might have a few people on. You know, a few performances, people to sing. You know, here and there. You know, make sure you guys like the video. Also, make sure you guys subscribe. But yeah, so you know, I'm gonna have people on starting in January. But this month, you guys is gonna get to know me. I'm gonna do this every Thursday. Every single Thursday, expect to see me here at 10 p.m. All right? I'm gonna be here. All right, y'all toast up a little bit, man. Y'all toast up, you know what I'm saying? It's a celebration. It's a celebration. It's a celebration, you dig what I'm saying? Very first Soul Nightcap. So, listen. Understand that the goal is not to speak at you, but with you, and not perform, but connect. Now, I will be doing some poetry on here now. Expect a lot of poetry, monologues. I might even cry. You never know. I don't know. You know, this will be very emotional. Like you see this bubble right here? Say intention versus attention. You know, what do we want? Do we want intention or do we want attention? Right? So, tonight is also Legends Night. One legend I want to pay homage to is the late poet, Miss Nikki Giovanni. You know, the great Nikki Giovanni. And that's one thing I'll do monthly. I'll have different themes as well. You know, one theme for a week may be mental health. You know, another week may be erotic. You know, you never know. You know, we're gonna be doing different stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just the first episode. So stick with me and we get it together. We'll figure it out, you guys. Maybe I'll put it right there. Let me see. I'm trying to get my light together. Put it right there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect, perfect. All right. So, you know what? I need you guys to start. I got a question for you guys. I wonder, can I delete this one and start another one? Okay. So I'm gonna put this in the chat. Where one of my questions at? Okay. Let me see. What is it? This a long one. Nope, that shit ain't even gonna fit. You know what? Anyway, y'all, do you want intention or attention, right? And the reason why I asked that question is because I remember I was talking to my sister, and she's a Sagittarius, so she a fire sign. If you got a little Sagittarius in your life, and you got somebody that's pretty honest, yeah. So I was dating, you know what I'm saying? This girl, I was dating this girl at the time. And she said to me, you gotta figure out. No, she said you gotta start doing things with intention and not attention. And not for attention, right? So, for example, in the world we live today, right? Social media is big. Social media is big. Who sees us is big. Who's watching? How the photo looks. How the picture looks. All of those things, right? But attention is, likes, views, validation, stuff of that nature. So for me, I've always been a private person, which is crazy because I'm on a podcast right now saying that I've always been a private person. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I started doing things with intention. And I ended up single. A lot of times when you do what you need to do, things that you don't need to do just fall off. Like you don't even have to change your schedule. You don't have to change things around when you're doing things with the intention. Because when you do things with intention, there's a reason. If you do things for attention, you may end up on the street longer than you intended to be there. You might not even supposed to be on that street, right? But you were doing things for attention, whether that's likes, views, validation. And I get, likes and views can lead to sales, right? But when we lose ourselves in the image, then we allow what other people say or think about us matter too much. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't hearing me. Y'all need to get your wine, man. Yeah. So it's a late night vibe. But essentially, intention allows one time to unfold like a rose full of love. So what I want to ask is, are we giving ourselves the same intention that we give others, right? So, for example, I was dating this girl, right? And Actually, no. No, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. Anyway, I can't say that, y'all. So I have this family member. Right? I have this family member who's always in other people's business, right? It's like it's their business to be in other people's business, right? So you ever know a person that knows everyone's gossip, right? Like someone who knows everyone's gossip is usually not a happy person, right? And the reason why is because you are taking on energy that is not yours, but is also not fulfilling, right? So you know this person, they be hearing all the gossip, you know, they be hearing all the stuff, right? They be hearing all the stuff, right? And they're making it their business to be everybody else's business. However, if that person took all that energy and just put it into their own, you know, put it into their own self, right? All that attention, all of that power, so to speak, all of that focus, you know, like you don't get anything unless you consistently focus over time, because everything takes time. Like everything takes time. You know, if you always got what you wanted immediately, eventually you probably start wanting for stuff. Because it doesn't even matter anymore. You just get it. Right? So when you have intention, you'll have the discipline to get where you need to be. I'm over here reading this out my book like I'm reading a Bible or something. This is, look, y'all ain't gotta listen to me. You know what I'm saying? These just my late night thoughts, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is the live chat. I might have to figure out how to get this Wi-Fi thing going. You know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this Wi-Fi thing going. Cause y'all ain't asking me no questions. I need some questions, y'all. Y'all ain't giving me no questions. You know what I'm saying? But actually I'm giving y'all questions, right? So are your standards based on your worth or your wounds? Right? So what am I asking here? Right? So our worth is things that you can't buy. Now I'm not talking about like financial net worth and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like standards, respect for yourself, integrity, you know, character, right? Yeah, so that's that, right? But the thing is, when you do things for attention, you don't really care about being integral. You know, you don't really care about respecting yourself, right? So you may do something just because somebody else is doing it. And you'll end up somewhere you never intended to be. It's true story. And it's crazy to laugh right now, but I almost died. No lie. I was in college. Damn. I was in college, right? In college I played wide receiver, believe it or not. Play wide receiver. And you know, I'm staying with some of my teammates over the summer because we're not allowed to stay on campus because we couldn't afford to stay on campus. I guess our athletic department couldn't afford to house us over the summer. So what's up with this light? I don't know what's up with my light, y'all. My light don't even be doing it. It tripping. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah. So, staying with some of my teammates. And you know, they were doing things, I'll say, illegal. However, I was too. You dig what I'm saying? Now, this is not to incriminate myself or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, nothing happened, right? Actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, there's a lot of times in our lives where we do things that only God can get us out of, which is interesting because we got ourselves in it. You know, we got ourselves in it. So when I was in college, you know what I'm saying, I was doing some things, you know what I'm saying, some people broke in, right? I'm the only one there. You know what I'm saying, they got weapons and you know what I'm saying. So I run, you know. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I ran. I ran out the front door as fast as I could. You know, shots ensued that night. Fortunately, I wasn't, or no one else wasn't, you know, hit. But that's what I'm saying, right? When you're doing things to try to be cool, that shit ain't cool. Shit is not cool. Stop trying to be cool. You know what I'm saying? And I know people say that. You know, I feel like people say that now. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool to be cool, or it's cool to stay cool. It's cool to be you. All right? It's cool to be yourself. I don't want to put it on my face like that. But yeah, so it's cool to be you. So whoever you are, if you ugly, be ugly, but embrace it. If you smart, be smart. You know what I'm saying? If you goofy, be goofy. If you love poetry, love poetry. If you're emotional, be emotional. Because the thing about the world is, we all need someone. So someone needs whatever you are bringing into the world. So be intentional about what you do and love yourself. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I feel like I said, I ain't trying to talk at y'all, but I feel like I've been talking at y'all. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know, one thing I do want to ask, right? Because I remember there was a time when I had to find what healthy love looks like for me. You see what I'm saying? We got to find what healthy love looks like for us. But with that, we got to be intentional about ourselves, what we want, the type of lives we want, you know, all of those things. Let me change up the music. It's a little boring. Yeah. Yeah, y'all. 10 p.m., man. 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Soul Nightcap. Might do a little freestyle. Let me see what I got. Yeah. It's Soul Nightcap, 10 p.m. Yeah. I'm not gonna, but I be him. I'm trying to let you know I'm not focused on them. You call me Michael Jordan cause I'm balling above the rim. I got that knowledge like STEM biology. I put the chemistry with the physics. I'm trying to see you again like you my mistress. I might give her the ring, give her be the missus. Me and Mrs. Jones, we just make a home. I'm trying to let her know, baby, you cannot clone a brother like me, a man like me. I be the one. I'm living so free. Love and ecstasy when you with me. It's L Veins, call me Dr. Strange. How I got the medicine. Changing lanes and I'm in the game and I'm balling. Like I'm Randy Moss. Might take the toss. Trying to drink a bad bitch just like some Voss. no matter what it costs to be the boss. I find the wins after the loss, so I gotta find myself, I gotta increase my health, I gotta let you know that it is nothing better. I never hit her waiter, I let her in my schedule. I told her, baby, it is my pleasure. Like it be Chick-fil-A, I eat her like a sundae with the strawberries and blueberries like a parfait. Y'all ain't ready for the freestyle. Y'all ain't ready for the freestyle. But yeah, y'all. So this next part, I wanted to talk about a legend, Miss Nikki Giovanni. She passed in 2024. Poet, activist, writer, Gemini. The reason why I bring up Gemini, I told y'all I'm a Libra. Y'all better remember that one day. One day you gonna remember it. Or not. Who really cares? It's my birthday, not yours. But yeah, so yeah, Nikki Giovanni. So this is a quote of hers. We write because we believe the human spirit cannot be tamed and should not be trained. All right. So this is what I know about life, I feel. If you don't program yourself, life will program you. Okay? So when you're a writer, when you're an artist, when you take this radical leap on life, where essentially you jump off the cliff and say, I can fly. You speak for those that don't, right? So essentially for me, what she's saying is the reason why we write is because we believe that we are great beyond measure. And we should not be put in a box. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, I like this. This sounds good. Y'all know I be having that good music. Y'all gotta have that good music on it. Y'all hear that? Y'all don't hear that. Y'all ain't hear it. But yeah. So, what was I saying? Y'all don't know. Y'all ain't even listening. Or maybe it's the wine talking to me. Next time poetry calls, I wanna pick her up, take her to the mall. I wanna feel every bag. I wanna let her know, I wanna make it last. Etta James, I be LeBron James. CB Savannah, I'm trying to make her my dirty dancer. You know we go foot loose. And it's all about me and you and I, like it's Jodeci. I'ma cry for you, you forever my lady. I might be Tyrese, cause you be so sweet, like it's roll bounce. I'm trying to feel you and smoke an ounce. I'm trying to get high and be on cloud 9. You know you so divine, baby, you just be my vibe. I don't wanna waste no time, I'm on my grind. I'm trying to make these moments, never rewind. I wanna wine and dine, I wanna take you out. I wanna let you know what this love all about. What this love all about. Yeah. So Nikki Giovanni, like I said, Gemini, she was a poetess, right? So essentially, I don't know if anybody ever said that, right? But if you know what a songstress is, that's where I came up with poetess, you know what I'm saying, right? Because the thing about her was, she was not afraid, to pop her shit, you know what I'm saying? The thing is, sometimes you gotta let somebody know who they fucking with, right? Like a lot of times, her poetry and her stories, it was fueled out of loss or just life, right? So she started writing children's books after she had her first child. You know, she started writing about death and coping with that after she had lost a family member, right? And the name of that series, I think, is Black Talk, Black. Is it Black? What is it? Black Feelings, Black Talk. All right. So Black Feelings, Black Talk is a collection she wrote. You know, excuse me. About coping with death and all of those things. The thing about poetry is, it goes back to test of time. You know what I'm saying? So you can think of me as Father Time. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying you can. I'm just saying you can. You don't have to. But yeah, that's funny. I crack myself up. Oh, this better. That's perfect. Yeah. So, yeah, y'all, Black Feelings, Black Talk. She ended up, appearing on TV, this TV show titled Soul. She was on, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Carson. Hell, my girl, she was born in 1943. Knoxville, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't even know what life was like back then. So, think about it. You're born in 1943, right? Beautiful black woman. 1943. At 20, it's 1963. Nat King Cole. Oh, this is a beautiful song. What is this? Shout out Four Souls. I like this. Turn this up a little bit, y'all. Then we're gonna talk about my girl a little bit more. We're gonna start that over. I like the way that hit. We're gonna let the music play for a little minute, y'all. We're gonna let the music play. Cause there's some beautiful music. Beautiful. Here you go right here. Don't make me spill my wine in here. Yeah. But y'all like that right there. I like that. Y'all like that. That's a nice little vibe right there. Nice little vibe right there. Yeah, so Jimmy Carson, right? Presidential Medal of Honor, right? And I didn't want to get into it too much, with Nikki, because we will be bringing her back up again, But understand, she was unapologetic, unfiltered, and unbreakable. You rest in peace, my sister. So what does poetry mean to me? All right. What does poetry mean to me? Everything. Poetry is what has me up right now at 10 p.m. doing a podcast, knowing damn well I usually be asleep, so I took a nap earlier, just for you. But yeah, poetry for me is life, right? Like poetry is love. Poetry is feelings. Poetry is my heart. Poetry is my faith. Poetry is how I read. Poetry is how I understand. Poetry is how I communicate. Poetry is everything. Hell, I am poetry. I love poetry. Essentially, poetry is a reflection of yourself. It is, you at your most bare, you at your most, vulnerable, right? Like with poetry, you gotta be vulnerable. Otherwise, what the hell you doing? You on the wrong side of town. You ain't using vulnerable. You ain't vulnerable poetry. You on the wrong side of town. You're on the wrong side of town. Because poetry is love. So poetry to me is everlasting. It means it makes everything possible. Without poetry, I wouldn't be able to love. I truly feel. Because I feel like, the thing about poetry is, when I was in middle school, that's how I used to write to people. Write to girls, right? Because the thing is, I was ugly, right? I was ugly, Most kids are ugly when they're in middle school, but I didn't know that. I just thought I was ugly. And so I learned the gift of gab. But the thing, what's interesting is poetry can be so vulnerable that it can teach you about somebody else. So for example, if I write a woman the sweetest, the most lovely letter, if she from the hood and she don't care about none of that soft shit, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta find where you belong, my brother. You gotta find where you belong, my brother. A lot of times you're barking up the wrong tree. You gotta find the woman for you. You know what I'm saying? So at that time I was unattractive, and I learned how to speak to women, right? How to be how to communicate my feelings, how to be vulnerable, and shit like that. All in middle school, just from writing poetry. You know what I'm saying? Because being ugly can make you feel real bad. I'm gonna pray for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand. Because I once was. But that's neither here nor there. So so poetry also, to me, I feel like it's very important today, right? So I feel like we talk about mental health. Like mental health is on the forefront in the world today more than previously, but I don't know if we're still sharing our feelings like we should, like our feelings, truly being able to express ourselves, not being emotionally unavailable, you know what I'm saying, being honest, all those things. The thing is, when you're honest with yourself, it's easier to be honest with the world. You gotta look yourself in the mirror. You gotta be fine with what you see. You understand? So what I'm gonna do, let me see what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna do a poem. I didn't even know I've been on here for 40 minutes just talking. Just talking. All right. Alright, so we're gonna do a poem, y'all. We're gonna do a poem, and then I'm gonna listen to a little more music, and we're gonna close it out. Freestyle. The light of my life. Love is my life, and poetry is my life. See, these words I live between, they show me that a queen does exist, that true love does persist, that true love insists, that you find the time to drink some wine and write to me. Understand that these veins are more than just legendary, that the only two letters in the alphabet I see are you and I. Time goes and I don't wish to rewind, I only wish to spend more and more and more. To stay forever. As if I never could see anything without you beside me. Within our time, we found each other in so many different lifetimes, so many different lifelines, so many stories, so many stages, so many ages. We seem to pass years, come and go, but I want you to stay here and never leave my side. Never find another. Know that I'll be your only lover forevermore. Know that if we're in the boat, my arms will be the oar. That for you I'll always protect you and your blind side like I am Michael or Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson or Freddie Jackson, because love is just touch away. As we take it nice and slow every day, I can smell the scrambled eggs and the French toast and the bacon on my plate, drizzled with syrup, with orange juice in the glass. Etta James, at last, I finally have you in my grasp, and I am thankful for you, my love. Love. All right, y'all. We're gonna listen to a little music, and then we're gonna drink a little wine. You know what I'm saying? You know what we should listen to? Y'all don't know, cause y'all ain't say nothing. You know, I'm gonna just do a little. I'm gonna do some more freestyle poetry. I'm gonna drink some wine, and I'm gonna freestyle some more, because that's what I'm feeling. All right, that's what I'm feeling. Some days I remember you coming down the hallway, being my escape, being my destiny. I could see the forest for the trees. I could see the garden. I could see the secrets. I could read the diary within your eyes. I knew that there were lies, but I never knew where it lied. Was it because of me? Had I given you too much of me? Had I thought too much of you? Too much credit and nothing to do? Every day I would come home and you would just be sitting there in the bed, full of despair, depressed and dark, and I was only trying to build the ark, trying to be your savior, trying to be your happiness. But all I felt was crappiness. All I felt was disdain. All I felt was you draining my veins. Strange how things came and they went. How I thought your love language was time spent. But you didn't have one. Yeah. All right, y'all. So what we talked about today? We talked about intention versus attention. Okay. We talked about Nick and Giovanni. All right. What is poetry? All right. We did some freestyle poems. It's the first Soul Nightcap. I will be back next Thursday, but before then, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Live morning show. I hope to see you there. You know what I'm saying? But before I go, I gotta show y'all the merch. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, I forgot to bring the male's merch. You know what I'm saying? But I was already here. I said, you know what? Once they go to the website, they'll see it on there. So anyway, ladies, if you're on, listen, this is the first rendition of L7 by Legendary Veins, right? The link is actually in the description. Excuse me, I got different colors, brown, black, white, and blue. Fellas, I got the tank tops, right? Different colors, green, brown, white, gray. Oh, look, listen. Yeah, brown, green, white, gray, and I'm missing one. Brown, green, white, gray, black. Yeah, black. All right. So yeah, click the link in the bio, the description, y'all. Subscribe, like. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit more. I might have one more glass of wine. Don't judge me. And then we're gonna listen to a little more music. And then we're gonna close it out. You know, for the first episode of Soul Nightcap. You know, so essentially, what I want you guys to think about, right? Intention versus attention, right? Forever versus temporary. Love versus lust. But know that love is always the answer. I like this song. make sure y'all have a drink with me. Have a drink with me. Have a drink with me. To the first episode of Soul Nightcap. To the first episode of Soul Nightcap. Click the link in the description, y'all. Click the link in the description. I will be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., live again. This is just the first episode of Soul Nightcap, y'all. To be honest, God is good. God is good. Remember that. If you don't take anything from tonight, remember, God is good. Remember that. If you ain't had nothing else the kid said, remember that. Oh, yeah, my bad, y'all. But I click ESPN. Yeah, y'all. So, we're gonna close it out. We're gonna close it out. Make sure you like, subscribe. I will see you tomorrow morning for the morning show. And thank you for your attention. Until next time, remember, love is dancing.